Boom, bop, bing, bop, boom, bop, bam. Hey, we straight into the bit like dipping sauce. I ain't even gonna play with this one now. First and foremost, shout out to the ones that's rocking. Shout out to the ones that's building this thing with me. It takes each and every one of y'all to even make this thing possible. So I want to say thank y'all for over 2,000 subscribers. Real deal. You feel me? It takes you just as much as it takes me. I was gonna say shout out to the ones that's love it, that hate it, that's just neutral, bypassing each and every person who takes the time. Think something that money cannot buy. Time and energy and attention is something that money cannot buy. So I want to say thank you for even rocking with me straight off the rip. Hold up, bro. My bad, y'all. Little sister running in and out. Had to get on our ad. But yeah, bro, I just want to say appreciate each and every one of y'all who spend the time to watch a video, like, comment, whatever it may be. It takes y'all just as much as it takes me. So I just want to say I really salute y'all. Thank y'all. We building this thing brick by brick, piece by piece. But fuck all that. We getting straight into the business. First and foremost, everything is not a trend. Okay? And we need to separate and detach socially from the idea that just because we saw it on social media, it is okay. We need to detach and separate ourselves from the idea that just because it feels good, that means it's somehow progressive and healthy. We need to detach and separate ourselves socially from the idea that sexualizing ourselves in the presence of our children does nothing but damage psychologically. I've seen it, I've witnessed it, I've experienced it. It is not okay. For one, it makes your child very uncomfortable. It makes your child look at you in a manner that is objectifying and demeaning. It makes your child then start to value and validate themselves based on the sexualization of women because of the behaviors they witnessed and experienced in the household. There is nothing that can be justified about the content and the context of this video. This is not about women. This is about boy moms. This is not about women who raise their children mannerable, morally, and respectably. This is about boy moms. First and foremost, like y'all know how we get into it, unfiltered, raw, unedited, all that. So let's just hop straight into it. If I got a couple hiccups, my bad, but we hopping straight into it because there's a couple clips I seen from this video that I actually did a mini reaction to a couple years ago. It was like 2022, 2021. I never actually publicly posted it. I think I deleted it or I just private it or something like that. But I did a video on one of the clips that's in this video. And oh, bro, woo-sa. Let's hop straight into the motherfucker.
I'm just gonna assume that she
Why
might.
she acting like she's starting to get horny, bro? That's how she's at. Why are women putting this on the internet? That's another thing. They don't know how weird it is. They don't see how
They do, Don. They do, but they are okay with it because psychologically they think that any form of attention is good attention. They think any form of attention or of attraction is good attraction. They think sexualizing themselves for likes mean it's good because they get likes. It is all engagement. Socially, a lot of people have been, let's just say, programmed to believe that engagement means progression. They think because they went viral, there is a form of validation within that. It's not, ma'am. Like, look at the title of it. When your son starts to look too much like his dad, there's one or two ways you can take this on the extremes. The values are going to fall somewhere within one or the other. Either he looks too much like his father in which you resent, or he looks too much like his father in which you sexualize. Neither is okay. Both create psychologically damaged children and households in which they, if not able to break the bounds of that, is simply going to pass that on within their own household. Like, come on. Why are we at Woosa?
weird it is. This
Woosa.
shit weird as fuck, bro.
Y'all see how much love he love? He love
This one was weird, bro. She was looking at this nigga like she couldn't wait for the nasty. She was looking at this boy like he was delicioso. Not like, oh, my son is handsome. I raised the good one. I raised a man who's mannerable, who takes care of himself, who grooms himself well, this, that, and the third. No, she looking at this man like a piece of meat. And I don't think it started when the camera cut on. So that means he has been groomed, programmed, and environmentally trained and socially programmed and molded in a way to which, for one, he probably looks at himself almost in a sexualized manner. Like, come on, my mom been telling me I'm hot shit since I was a baby. You get what I'm saying? So he probably over sexualizes himself and looks for that validation in women. Or it just creates a bad dynamic in terms of the relationship between how we view and validate women in our life and how we view and validate ourselves, the value of ourselves, the value of women, and that relationship connection. This does not create any healthy dynamics. You can't argue, well, she just hyping up her son and she thinks that's cool. But there is no way that you should confuse that with sexualization. And it's almost always in a way to where it kind of reverts back to themselves, to where they can find a way to find value in themselves out of it. Like Pete. They just kissed in the mouth. That boy 30. That boy is a cool 29 and a half. And they just kissed in the mouth, bruh. Bro, there has to be boundaries set as a parent and as a child. I don't think boy moms know what they're creating. They're creating worse than a shark. They're creating way worse than that. If you know what a shark is, if you don't know what a shark is just someone, a male specifically, who uses his traditionally good looks or uses traditional beauty standards to then attract women. To me, is nothing more than an ego boost. I'm using women to then find value and validation within my own self. That's all it is. It's a shark. He uses his looks to then bait and attract women. Simple as that. You get what I'm saying? So you got to think what these boy moms create when from a child, a toddler, before any of your prefrontal cortexes are even starting to halfway be developed, before you're able to make rational decisions, before you're able to regulate and stabilize your emotions, before you're able to make logical and sound decisions, even through chaotic or non-stable emotions. That's part of being an adult, aka, yeah, I may feel one way, but I know if I act on that, it can lead to destruction and regression. So therefore, I'm not going to act on that. That is a part of being able to regulate your emotions as well as operate out of that. You get what I'm saying? And I don't think they understand the level of psychological damage they're creating when they kind of form this weird dynamic of boyfriend, girlfriend / mother, son. Like, why is, like, baby, you a sexual addict. You might just be addicted to sex. That, or you're a attention whore. You're finding value in this. There's something in this that creates a value within yourself to where you become attached to it. So now you're looking at your son in a way that he was never meant to be looked at by you.
That baby right there, y'all.
Crazy, bro. Shout out Don.
Sham. Shout out to that boy Don. 4D. Sham.
This one was weird too.
To that guy in a little while. Let's check this out.
This is what creates that broken mentality of those dudes who become overprotective of their mother, and then they start to create chaotic dynamics within the household because they never detach themselves from that intimate relationship with their mother that you have as a youth. When you get in the kisses, the love, the coddling, the nurturing, the things that a wife would do in the later stages, but in a completely different way because it is a completely different dynamic. But yeah, like I was saying, when you don't learn to detach from that psychologically, you become that boy that's overprotective of their mother because there's no detachment of those values and that nurturing, that care, and that kind of smoochy coddling love you get at a very young age. You become dependent on that in terms of your self-value. Maybe not fully, but in some way, shape, or form. And I feel like mothers like this who play into that, just peep what she say. Let's just go through it. We're gonna peep what she say.
Talk about me. Okay. So what you gonna do if your partner say, "Damn, your mama fine"? Okay.
What you gonna do if your partner say, "Damn, your mama fine"? For one, if you know you are traditionally attractive, there should be a boundary set of, hey, I know you may have male friends who find me attractive, but just know there is nothing I'm going to do to disrespect those lines. Point blank simple. But when you come about it with this type of approach, with this dynamic, you create exactly what he just did. A shooter. I'm going to kill them niggas. Why? Why? Because of the psychological values you program that child to have by acting in a manner as if you are their significant other. So they have no, psychologically, until they get to a certain age, they can't differentiate it quite. They can in a literal sense, like I know my mother's not my girlfriend, but they can't differentiate it in terms of the values, the behaviors, and the psychological traits that then develop as characteristics.
What?
Like instead of acting in that way and almost validating that through the laughter, through the slight, but what nigga? Why you looking at me like that? Why the fuck is you, bro? Come on, bro. You just messed my whole video. My bad, y'all. We locked. But yeah, like I was saying, based on the mannerism and the characteristics that she displaying, based on his reaction, it sort of validates that. And in some way, shape, or form, she was looking for that response. She was fishing, and she got exactly what she was fishing for. But I don't think she realizes the characteristic traits and the psychological behavior that she is helping groom and grow. You feel what I'm saying? Like
Do you hear what this woman just
it's not healthy in no way, shape, or form.
asked her son, who doesn't look a day over 7? This little man don't look a day over 7. She asking him, what you gonna do if someone asks you or says to you, "Damn, your mama fine"? Nah.
Like, wow.
Nah. Something wrong with this one, my boys.
That's what you gonna do.
And look what he does. Look what he
The way she acted in terms of response to his reaction, it just tells me so much about the values of her as a mother, not as a woman. I don't know her as a woman, but based on this representation, her values as a mother is to be validated. She want her son to make her feel the way she need a husband to make her feel, or a boyfriend, or a crush. There's no psychological separation. So she's looking for that protective response because maybe in some way, shape, or form, that was something that was lacking, whether in her development, whether in her previous relationships, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera.
does. Oh my goodness.
Talk about me. Okay. So
We're
what
gonna
you
jump
gonna
through
do
these
if your
clips. We're
partner?
gonna jump through these clips.
Give me some more chicken. This shit gonna hit. It's this couple, or
Yeah.
well, I think it's a
It's
couple.
another clip I wanted to jump on. We ain't gonna really react to this whole thing. I just kind of want to go clip by clip.
Putting this on the internet.
Me knowing my son's fine as fuck. That's cool. You can feel that way. But there is a contextual portrayal in which there's no psychological separation. Not only do you think and know, according to your own words, not only do you know your son's is fine, they match the exact, let's just say, characteristics physically of what it is you look for in men. So you use them as a muse for that same validation. When, baby, you can just go get those, you can just do your best to attract those men. You don't realize you're creating an extremely uncomfortable and broken dynamic within your own relationships simply because you don't have a separation in values and boundaries. It's just weird. It's given 18-year-old, like, it's just weird. Like, what? I don't get it. It's not like you saying, yeah, my sons grew up to be very handsome, good, well-groomed men. You're saying it in a way as if you're sexualizing them That's weird.
The word to use would be handsome. Never had a man be this obsessed with me.
That's a baby. Hey, I get it. This specific one could be an all lighthearted, cutesy cutes. But the psychology it creates, it's dangerous. Do you really think he's obsessed with you? Or maybe he's a child that's learning the dynamics of being a child and learning, like loving his mother. Just what a child naturally does out the womb. They're literally a byproduct of your physical flesh. You think they're not going to have an attachment to you, nigga? Like, obsession is not the word. Maybe attached, because literally he's in a state, that child is in a state to where they have to be attached to their parental guides. They have to be attached to their parents. They're in a very underdeveloped state, psychologically, mentally, and physically. They cannot provide for themselves. They cannot make sound decisions for themselves. They cannot regulate their emotions. They cannot regulate their irrationality, if that's a word, their rationality. So yes, he is attached to you as a mother, but when you start to lie to your damn self, you get this creepy, weird ass shit.
I don't know if
He's not a man. He's a toddler. He's a baby.
A toddler, a baby. That much like he can't even walk on his own. And all you worried about, it's obsession with you. Like, come on, gang.
Baby. Bruh.
Next clip, bro. Next clip.
They don't know.
I think I touched on this. When my son started looking too much like his dad, is either one or two extremes that those values fall within. Either he looks too much like your dad, so there's a resentment being created, or he looks too much, my bad, not like your dad. He looks too much like his father, so there's a resentment being created, or he looks too much like his father, so you're starting to sexualize him. Neither one of them creates healthy dynamics. Neither one of them will create a healthy environment for the child. If anything, you're just creating a man who either starts to resent the sexualization of women, or he starts to, let's just say, feed on the sexualization of women, and that becomes how he values himself, because that is what his mother instilled in him psychologically in terms of how to value yourself and value the people you love. Because that specific relationship of mother and son is ultimately the foundation of what leads to boyfriend, girlfriend, husband, wife. The foundation, not the structure, not the same values, simply the foundation.
Oh, how weird it is. They don't see how weird it is. This shit weird as fuck, bro.
have some resentment towards his dad, so the fact that he looks like him is kind of displeasing her.
Y'all see how much love you love mommy?
Like, bro, look like he's already ready to be a shark. He got all the mannerisms, the facial looks, the lick the lips, the swag. He got all the mannerisms of a dude who was groomed to be a shark. Not on purpose, though, not intentionally, simply through the dynamics of his childhood and what he experienced within the household environment. Simple as that. Like, come on. That shit, motherfuckers just bitch, we gonna scrap before you play. You better not. Hey,
Baby right there, y'all.
throw them biddies. Throw them biddies before we do that.
Bruh. Nah, man. Nah, bro. That's weird, bro.
But when I
It's beyond weird. It's a psychological issue. It's an issue in terms of their own self-valuing as a mother. For some reason, they get the same fulfillment that you would get from the dynamics of your intimate and spousal relationship from their sons. There's no disconnection to them. Again, not literally, but in terms of the dynamics and the values surrounding that, they have no separation. And those are usually the ones who have the most toxic relationship also with their kids or with their husband or their spouse or their significant other.
I find out he got a girlfriend. No more kisses. for
Bro,
him.
he hit me.
That is something that kind of bothered me. If you find out he has a girlfriend, no more kisses to him for him. So you use, as a mother, you use kisses in the mouth for your 33-year-old son as leverage for how he's going to pursue intimate relationships. You just said it. No more kisses if you get a girlfriend. So you use something that is sexually intimate and usually exclusive to partners as a way to leverage some sort of value dynamics between your son. That is fucking weird. That's like saying no more ass for you. Like, what? You sleeping on the couch tonight? No more ass for you. What the fuck? That's y'all don't get the my tripping, my bugging.
Bro, he's smacking. That's what that. Bro, it's clapping, bro. That's
What I
what
just
that
say,
look like
Don?
to me.
What I just say, Don?
Oh, hell nah, man. But if this was a man and his daughter, bro.
Cooked, fried, freak, petty, pdfile.com, all that. But because she's a boy, mom, and women hold the value of nurturing, the care, that sort of nature, it gets brushed off. But nobody talks about the dynamics it create. Nobody talk about the characteristics it helps, let's just say, groom and what it validates. Like, it creates a very toxic man. This is what creates the fuck boy, quote unquote, the quote unquote fuck boy. This is what he dealt with in his childhood home. Constantly being sexualized, constantly being told he's fine, he's cute, he's sexy, he this. So that's all he know how to value himself as, because the most intimate relationship in his life, that was the dynamics they decided to use in terms of valuing their son.
The world.
The same dynamics you use to find a spouse, to find an intimate partner, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. So it just creates a very fragile and broken psychology.
Would be on fire as it should. But that's the point I'm making. It doesn't make it
If not, at minimum, perverted. At minimum, perverted.
any less weird when it's a mom and her son, bro.
Don't. There's one more clip I really wanted to touch on. Like, this one is what blew me all up out the water. Because I had seen this some years ago, and it just made my stomach turn. This one was gross. I ain't see this one. This is what I mean by it creates resentment as well. You are in front of your son in the bathroom with both of y'all on camera, shaking ass, baby. This boy looks so fucking uncomfortable. And why don't you think about the dynamics of the, schools, the social dynamics? That kid probably has to go to public schooling. Am I wrong or am I right? That kid probably has to go to public schooling. This is a public social platform. You see the bridge I'm connecting? More than likely, he's going to have to deal with some form of bullying. Point blank, period. If not, he's going to constantly have to deal with defending the sexualization of his mother because she decided to twerk in a video with him right there looking at it in the video. This boy look like he ready to smoke himself. He ready to get about this shit. It's over with. Done for. I don't want to go back to school. Fuck all that. It's over with. It's over with. No, it's over with.
Dress. Leave that girl.
Like, that creates a real resentment because you start to look at a woman being dominant in her sexualization, not sexualizing herself, but being not dominant, being comfortable in her sexualization. A kid who grows up in a childhood with these type of dynamics will resent that woman nearly every time because it reminds them of all the trauma they dealt with in the household. Simple as that.
Alone, please. I'm sorry. You know it's not as simple as just making a TikTok. I hate when people try to do that. This little child does not need to be witnessing this, especially not from his mom. And this isn't even including the fact that this video went viral.
And not only that, it could create self-hatred. It could create so many internal dynamics that are completely negative. because of what simply their mother decided to do. And that's what I talked about in one of my last videos with parents. Once you become a parent, it's important to understand that the decisions you make have a complete impact on the development of a child when they're still in that stage of being a child, a toddler, or a teen. So once mentally and psychologically, everything they witness you do has an impact on characteristic traits, on decision making, on impulse control, on emotional regulation, on the partners they decide to pick, on the values and virtues that they want to uphold, on their moral compass, on their moral structure, on how they value themselves as a man or woman. All that matters. And to be shaking ass on camera on a public platform that with his face in it, he can't say it's not him. With his face in it, you think that's not going to create? You think that's not going to create resentment? You think he's not going to look at you funny once he starts to understand the social dynamics of what actually happened? Because since it's his mother, he may can detach a bit. But when it's just a random dude at school, look at your mama, look at your mama, look at your mama. It creates a real disdain and a real resentment that takes years and years to clean and to kind of, what's the word for fix that? It takes years and years and years to fix that. You feel me?
So his classmates or whoever may know him literally might run across his video and show it to him, rub it in his face, use it to bully him. Y'all don't call CPS enough for me. Literally, some things can change.
There's one more clip we're gonna jump into. There's one more clip. Oh, they ain't throw it in this one? It was one, bro, where a dude came in the kitchen. He smacked this girl ass. Boo, boo, boo. All her sons followed in line and smacked her ass as well. I will never get jiggy with that. Never, ever, ever get jiggy with that. This was foul too.
And this next clip has to have some, which
like what self-internal dynamic has to be created for a mother to violate all the boundaries of sexualization simply to feel something, simply to feel good, simply to feel fine? Like, I don't get it. Like, maybe that's why I'm having a bit of a hard time explaining it, like the psychological perspective of why that's okay. I guess it's just, to me, it's like, what the fuck? It's no way I can find a reason to, maybe that could be progressive in this area of their life. Maybe it could teach them this virtue or this value, or it could teach them how to deal with this in life, teach them how to navigate this, it'll teach them how to go through this, how to build within this. None of that.
Mom was backing it up on the son, and he was holding on to her waist as she was backing it up. Which, I mean, this isn't the craziest clip because this is kind of like part of the trend, but I mean, still, it's not nice to have some boundaries. Next, we got this.
It is nice to have boundaries.
Mom and son wall sit challenge.
Crazy,
I mean, that's
bro.
The trend, do you? I guess, but again, it's nice to have some boundaries.
And
this next clip is when things really start.
Y'all ain't watching my children. Y'all doing that in the household. Y'all ain't babysitting. None of that, nigga. None of that. That's what you got going on when them doors closed. I'll be far, far away.
Bro, there's a lot of dudes out here that want to fuck their moms, bro. That's what I'm saying. It's a lot of,
according to TikTok, yeah. Like I said, social media has the ability to capture moments and make them seem like reality. This is not a message to women. This is a message to weird boy moms. Point blank, period. I have every example of women in my life that don't lead this way, but still find ways to make sure that they validate their children. Make sure that they let their children know that, hey, you are somebody, you are valued, you are loved. But it's not in a way of I'm a suck you a D. It ain't in a way of throw it back. It ain't over sexualized. That's the difference. There's a clear-cut psychological difference. and what creates those dynamics within a household. Point blank, period, bro.
Dudes and a lot of moms out here want to fuck their sons, bro. I don't know.
And to me, low key, a lot of it has to do with the self-satisfaction of the self-satisfying complex of social media. Constantly feeling like whatever it is that will bring you attention, eyes, and engagement is somehow progressive and healthy. Somehow, some way, social media has been able to convince men and women that likes, comments, and attention will somehow mean that there's progressive values on display. You can have 20 trillion likes, 30 quillion comments, and still be doing some foul ass shit. The fuck? Like, that's why I said start this with everything, not a trend, bro. Let it die. Everything don't need to be something you need to follow behind because you see others doing it. You can see others. Oh
man,
we're gonna finish this video up.
Like, this is weird, dog. This is
weird. So her husband walks up and smacks her butt, which I mean, that's
this was the one. This was the clip. This was disgusting, bro. That shit was so disgusting, gang.
Behind and do the same thing.
I love you.
See you, bro. Bye, mommy.
What
kind of sexual deviant are you that you want your children to not only defile you in a way that only a spouse can, but you literally are putting yourself and them in a intentional position of doing something that crosses the sexual boundaries that you should not cross with your children. There's no accident about that, is what I'm saying. There's no oops about that, is what I'm saying. You set that camera up. You had a video idea. You then lined your children up. You told them what this video idea was about, and then you went through with it. That's what I mean by the self-satisfaction complex of social media. Something in her told her it was okay because it was for views. And if she's doing that off camera, she's a sexual deviant, period. Point blank. There's no other way to explain why you would cross that line with your children unless you have literal sexual attachments that you need to break the bounds of, aka a sexual deviant, sexual addiction. You sexually value yourself, sexual satisfaction, self-pleasure. All of it goes within those same values. This is disgusting, bro. And it does not need to be practiced. It does not need to be followed. It does not need to be preached. Point blank, period, bro. I'm out. Y'all take care of yourselves. Y'all love yourselves. Continue to do something progressive, ascending and forwarding. Continue to push the bounds of your reality and build a life that you thrive and live healthy and happily in. Continue to make your peace, your peace, your peace. Love God, love yourself, love the people around you, love the people taking care of you, love the people doing for you, and continue to do for them. Y'all take care of yourselves. 2,000 subscribers. We on the way to 3. You hear me? We on the way to 3. Salute. I'm out.